Ready to face your fears head on, conquer them, and create a safer, more prosperous future? Worried that the world has gone nuts and you've become an insanity magnet? Then grab a cold libation, put on your fuzzy slippers, and get ready to create your own safe space. It's the Safe Space Podcast with your host, Tammy D. For more information and episodes, go to www.saferpodcast.com. That's www.saferpodcast.com.
Hey everybody, it's Tammy DeLu here, and this is another great episode of the Safe Space Podcast. And on the show, we're taking a look at some of the clients out there, some of the people that are actually using our advisors and how they came across them. And this is a way for you to learn more about what makes a good advisor and why people are connecting with certain advisors versus other ones. Today we have Deborah. And introduce yourself, and let's talk a little bit about you. And who's that handsome man next to you?
This is George.
George, okay, George. So yeah. Deborah and George are here to talk a little bit about their experience with Sean Sparkman, how they actually connected with him. They're all the way out in Smyrna, Georgia. So that I find that interesting because Sean's in Michigan, as many of you know. So talk to us a little bit, Deborah, about what were you doing that led to this search and how did you connect up with Sean? And tell us a little bit also about your background. What did you guys do before you were retired, or maybe you're not retired?
We are retired. Actually, he's been retired since 2004, right? And I retired 2 years later, a little bit early for me, but that's fine because we did want to move south. And we were school teachers he was for 40 years and I was for 32. I taught the gamut from, lower elementary, upper to junior high-ish, and all kinds of jobs where he was fifth grade for just 40 years. Basically, I'd say that the reason we did this, and he's the financial guy. I'm not. We've had very good luck with George's expertise, actually, in financial matters. We've had great other income producers. We were in the stock market for a while. We felt fear a few years ago and pulled out of the stock market and looking for a place to put our financial investment. Well, wanted to invest with our little nest egg and our sons also. I believe, how do we find Sean? I think we did a web search.
We did a web search looking for the possibility of finding an advisor that worked in the area that we were interested in, that we were interested in, doing annuities. Several were recommended online, and we interviewed them, or maybe they interviewed us, and we made a decision. And Sean happened to be the winner.
He stood out because other people were a little bit just, I don't know, they didn't hit you. Sometimes you have to trust people with your money. And the trust portion came through with Sean. I don't know why. He wasn't just friendly and warm and approachable, but he was clear. Like I say, George here is the financial guy. He knew the kind of questions to ask and things like that. For me, I need somebody to explain a little differently, perhaps. So he was able to be clear-cut, educational, professional, and very, very nice at the same time. Everything. And at the time, that poor guy was going through, his wife was having a child and she had a couple of issues. It's personal probably for him, but he shared with us they had, a couple issues with the new baby. And so he was going through all this stuff and he was just more than welcoming, more than clear. And he convinced us to put our money in a couple of different funds. And we did that. You can't control the economy, but we know our money right now, it's safe. At least we're not losing, and we did gain for a little while. That's how I feel about it anyway. But he was lovely. He was very, very nice. Here's the thing that strikes me, okay? If I send Sean a text message, he gets back to me within about less than 5 minutes. I don't know how he does it, even on the weekend, even at night. He's very attentive to us. I like that. He's personable, but professional. He's smart, and my son loves him. He used him for his advisor for a couple of different funds too, and he really likes him. He's got to get in touch soon, by the way. But he said that he just feels comfortable talking with him. We two, Gio and me, Deborah, are not like George, where he understands the finances. So,
well, the reason you think I understand the finances is because you don't understand them.
well, no.
And that's why you think I
No, it's
understand
because of
them.
years ago where you were able to manage money and did very well.
Okay. Well, let me see. Sean was one of three that we really were considering.
No.
And we had just gone through, I think we waited a year, maybe, was it in 2018 or 19, where we lost a quick $250,000. Our advisor disappeared for about a year, and we had really no contact with anybody trying to fill in the absence in any way. So after the 250 loss, we said, we're getting out of here. And of course, the day that we got out, the market went back up. So that's how much I know about the market. So we said annuity, because we knew what annuity meant. Annuity meant you can't make a fortune overnight, but you can't lose a fortune or part of your fortune overnight. In fact, you can't lose. And Sean stressed that. He reinforced those feelings that we had. And he seemed very personable, as Deborah said. He seemed like the most personable person we have really encountered in the financial world. He seemed like the kind of person you'd want for a relative.
Right.
Not somebody, always, setting you up for something, but a real personal guy who you would actually consider a friend, not just a financial advisor. So that's what we feel. Now, we don't feel we've been scammed. We really feel as though we made a good connection. The first year that we got our report, the market's been so bad, so poor, that we knew that we're not going to lose a penny, and we certainly didn't. And we didn't gain a penny either.
Yeah.
So, but we were
hoping for better times.
Yeah, we're hoping for better. This year's not going to be any better because we know what's coming.
I know that's the thing that struck me too. I never felt pressure from Sean, but others we did. It was almost like we didn't have to do it. We didn't have to make a decision today. We didn't have to make it tomorrow. It was like there was no, like his life depended upon it, but it does because that's his pay too. But he never made, at least me, I don't think you felt it either.
No, so, we feel the same about Sean-Sparkman. So that's good.
He's a great guy.
I mean, I know you wouldn't indicate that you felt differently.
I've been doing this kind of thing, which is promoting financial advisors for like 15 years now. And I've had bad ones and I've had good ones. And I try to cling and hold on to the good ones as much as I can, because they are a 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000.
We're lucky.
Yeah, Sean's a good one.
Did you guys have any qualms at all, though, about buying annuity products over the internet? Did you have any misgivings or,
Well, a little bit. I did because of our the loss that I explained a few minutes ago. But I do want to give credit to Deborah. I said, now, which one of these three do you really think we want to do business with? And she zoomed right in on Sean-Sparkman. And I said, I agree.
Okay,
so, and sure. Deborah is very good at reading people and knowing, the good from the bad.
Oh, well, thanks.
Except when she picked me out to be her husband.
37 years of marriage, you don't tell me?
Yeah,
okay.
What is it that prompted you to go beyond just what you had and get out there and make it grow?
Well, when you're a retired New York teacher, you have a fairly decent pension, and we were able to save. We're also good savers. We don't waste a lot of money. I mean, we don't really have any habits. You can tell we don't. I mean, I go to the gym. What do? We don't smoke. We don't drink. We don't go anywhere. We don't go on trips anymore. Son has grown up now, so we don't really. What happened was, since we were able to save, in my opinion, we had something to work with. Plus, we had something left over, I guess, from the sale of our last house or whatever the situation was. we had a little bit of a nest egg, and we also have a revocable living trust, which is really where all the money is. But since we were able to put that money somewhere, he didn't want to just have it be sitting in the savings account where you don't get anything. It's like, what? We got 3 cents interest on, $250,000 or more. That's ridiculous. So again, we're prompted because we were able, through our own life habits and saving habits and everything, to have a little bit to put aside. And that's for our legacy. That's not for, we're not going to spend it. What are we going to do? We're going to save it. Right now, again, I tell you, we have a lot of friends who are teachers, and I think they do something with their money. Once you lose something, you're also a little more inclined to want to reach in and say, hey, can I keep this safe?
You've done it. You've faced the fear and triumphed. Thanks for listening to the Safe Space Podcast with Tammy D. For episode information or to suggest a guest or topic, go to saferpodcast.com.